Coin collecting is a marathon. It's a long, methodical process of doing research, diving on history books, keeping an eye on the market, resisting the urge to sell your house to buy the gold coin you like so much, more research, communicating with other numismatists. Becoming a good collector and a good numismatist takes years. I commonly call it a journey here in this channel because building a nice collection really takes decades on end. And I'm not a master by any means. I've been collecting for some 5 years now, and as far as numismatists are concerned, I'm definitely not a beginner, but I certainly have a whole lot to learn. You people might not see it, but often as I'm doing research for these videos, I communicate with other more experienced collectors, and I get very often humbled by the sheer experience they have, and it shows that I still have a lot to learn. But I could say I picked up the basics on coin collecting already, so for this video I thought about going on a relaxed talk with you. I'll show on the background some nice little coins I purchased recently, and I'll give you some personal tips from these 5 years of collecting. Some are related to being a good numismatist, others on navigating the market, and even some opinions on the numismatic community at large. So let's get to it. And by the way, if you are a beginner to ancient coins, I strongly recommend you head over to my channel and look at the playlists page. There, you will find the Introduction to Ancient Coins playlist with all kinds of videos that should help a beginner on pretty much everything, like online tools to identify coins, how to buy coins, how to avoid fakes. This way, instead of you listening for me for 3 hours in a single massive video, you have bite-sized content on the topics you are looking after. So after watching this video, if you're like an absolute beginner or something, I recommend you head over there. Okay, so for today's first tip, and that's a pretty easy for everyone. Try to handle lots of coins and be physically present with as many coins as possible. If you already own a couple of coins, it's very likely that you have lived the experience of buying one of your very first coins online, receiving it, and it was a completely different size and weight to what you were expecting. Even with the dealer giving you a full identification of the piece, these last couple of years people simply could not go on coin shows or museums due to the lockdowns, and looking at coins from a computer screen, even with great pictures, simply doesn't show all of the details and what there is to it on a coin. So I strongly recommend, now that things are going back to normal, that you do get out there and once again be physically close to coins. Coin shops, coin shows, museums, anything goes. Look at coins and look at a lot of them. Pictures and even videos don't fully capture the volume and the relief a coin has. Ancient coins have very high reliefs. They will never fully capture what the light does on the surface of a coin when interacting with it. So being there and looking at coins up close and personal helps you develop an eye for quality, an eye for fakes, because it trains your eye on what a good coin should look like. There are many of you who likely have never been to a coin show at all, or buy most of your coins online. And if that's all you can do, that's fine, but trust me, get out there and go handle some coins. Experience makes good numismatists. And since one of the best places to see some fancier, more important coins in person are museums, although you're not going to be able to handle them, that leads me to another tip. Go to museums, as many as you can, and look at as much art as you can, not only coins. Have you ever seen a coin listing online or on an NGC slab where it says fine style? That's a pet peeve of mine. Who am I to judge what is of exceptional beauty and what is not? Why should I trust someone else to determine for me what is good art and what is not? But at the same time, this called my attention to the fact that your perception of what is beautiful, and consequently how you're going to judge high quality coins you would like to add to your collection, is a result of your own experiences looking at lots of coins and looking at art. Taste is personal, but taste also needs to be developed. Let's say, for example, you like Greek coins. You can look at tons of Greek coins of the same type and identify a die, for example, that is better looking than the rest after some time, but you have to consider that a coin and its art are a frozen moment in time. The civilization that minted this coin had a whole array of ways of making art, sculpture, paintings. There's this German term, the Zeitgeist, which translates to the spirit of the time, which sums it up rather well. To evaluate style on a coin, you have to understand or at least grasp what art meant to the society, to these people. Look at pottery, look at paintings, look at sculpture. Draw parallels to the art in these other mediums and the art from your coins. Get a feel for what they wanted to communicate, what they thought was beautiful, and how this was translated in coin form, because coin was just one form of expressing art. People who take the time to appreciate these details and apply these to their collection tend to assemble the very best collections. They tend to be more consistent on the quality of coins they buy, and they become more patient collectors, which are all good things. So yeah, don't be just a numismatist, be a lover of ancient art as a whole. And becoming good at recognizing good style and high quality on art and coins takes time and effort, which ties up very nicely with my next tip. Take a deep breath and be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, nor will your collection, especially if you want it to be good. If you go on the main auction sites and online stores right now, there are an awful lot of coins out there, sure. But my point is, a much larger number of coins are still sitting in collections right now. Many coins you would love to own are simply still being enjoyed by another collector. They might hit the market tomorrow, they might do it in a decade. It's easy to get carried away and just buy a similar coin because it is good enough and it fills the gap in your collection. The likelihood that you will regret this purchase in the future is very high. So relax, buy coins that appeal to you on a personal level, and remember you're here for the long run. And since we're talking about buying coins, let's talk about your budget. Of course, I'm no one to tell you what you should do with your money, but for me at least, one thing is the money I save for my future and for investing, and another entirely different thing is the money I spend on coins. My coin budget comes from my fun budget, and I'm a very strong supporter of the pay yourself first rule. So like the moment my paycheck hits my account, a part of my income goes into savings and I'm not touching it. It really helps prevent me from spending a little bit more than I should on my coin purchases. It helps me set realistic goals to my collection because I know how much I'm able to spend, and it helps me keeping the hobby fun. How horrible would it be for a hobby to generate the stress knowing you're extracting from your savings, and the savings for your future, just for your coin cravings? That's not a hobby, that's destructive. And another cool parallel tip to this is for you to have a small budget set aside for opportunities. Remember I told you that the majority of coins are still in collections? Well, every now and then a coin you really like will hit the market, and you know what? Other people might notice it too, and the truly good deals get scooped up rather quickly. So, you know, how heartbreaking would it be if you just spend your budget on coins like a couple of days ago, and the next day a really spectacular piece shows up, and you just let it go because you're financially responsible and you can't spend any more on coins. As a small example on how I do a strategy for this, let's say on average you spend $60 on a coin, and your monthly budget is, I don't know, like $100. For 3 months, you could spend a little bit less, $80 for example, and after 3 months, you would have that $60 stashed away in case an opportunity shows up. So continuing with the money and budget theme, remember spending money on knowledge and tools is never a bad investment. A jeweler scale, digital calipers, some coin capsules, a nice case or some proper storage for your coins, these are mandatory for any collector. Also, although there's a ton of knowledge available online, this is still a hobby heavily reliant on books and printed material. Investing in books is always a good bet, and depending on how focused you are on a certain collecting niche, it might be a good idea to invest in a catalog for that type of coin you collect the most. It doesn't matter that you have to skip buying coins for a couple of months to afford all of this, but it's all worth it, trust me. And finally, there's the social aspect of the hobby. The interesting thing about numismatics is that parts of it can be enjoyed by yourself, but what truly makes this hobby great is, like with any other hobby, enjoying it with other people. There's something very relaxing, in my opinion, with just sitting down by myself at the end of the day, picking up a random coin and doing a thorough study in its history. But it is equally appealing to go online on forums or at coin clubs and share the things you found out with people, and listening to equally passionate people talk about their discoveries. So get out there, join forums, Facebook groups, meet up in person and in coin clubs. Get out there. Also, don't be afraid to ask. The rule here should be there are no stupid questions. When we comment with people outside the hobby how much we love our coins and why we love them, we typically get a nod like, that's pretty cool, old coin, and that's it. So you can be sure every collector is starving for people to talk about it, and they will be ecstatic to share their knowledge with you, so ask away. And I take this opportunity to pull the ear of the numismatic community a little bit. There is a reason why the stereotypical numismatist is depicted as an 80-year-old grumpy man, and it is not because we're all old men. I'm 30 years old, I've met a ton of young numismatists, all very competent in fact, and this hobby is very much alive and well. But I've also seen my fair share of bad apples, people acting horribly online and even in person. And what I mean is just have a constructive and positive attitude. Did someone show a coin you believe is fake? Make a point. Explain why you believe the coin is fake. You might even be wrong, but just make a point nicely. Don't just metaphorically spit on someone's coin like that's fake, that's horrible, and walk away. Or, for example, you like Greek silver coins and someone just showed a horrible Byzantine coin that looks like a chocolate cookie. Well, they like that coin. Let them enjoy stuff. Someone decided to clean a coin and unfortunately did a bad job and damaged the piece. Don't just tell them they are an idiot and should never touch a coin again. Explain why protecting the patina is important, why cleaning coin takes a lot of time and should not be done in a rush. I think you get my point. Be constructive. And to end this video, a good idea is to turn the comment section below into a little hub of knowledge. I want to hear from you collectors, especially those with a little bit more experience. Do you have any particular tips you would give? Let us know in the comment section down below. I encourage everyone to look down there and interact. Not only helps the channel, but thankfully I've seen tons of quite good, constructive and insightful comments from fellow collectors. So definitely check it out. Well, I hope you enjoyed and learned a thing or two from this quick little chat. Leave a like if you did, consider subscribing. Happy collecting, and I'll see you soon.